Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Kabri with me, Aradi and Rishi. And yeah, we're back. RCB are back to playing and back to winning ways after that defeat at the Chinnaswamy against Delhi Capitals. And yeah, they went to Jaipur and it was a strong showing, man. It was as good as it gets. It There's a stat running that this is the first time RCB have won their first four away matches in the IPL. Um, it's consecutive wins away from home for RCB, and this one was quite comprehensive. I think it could not have gotten I think it could have gotten better, but yeah, we'll discuss that obviously. But yeah, restricted Rajasthan to 174. I'm guessing 173. My bad. And chased it pretty comfortably. Phil Salt and Virat Kohli. I think Virat Kohli played a wonderful hand today in helping Phil Salt do what Phil Salt does. Scoring 65 of 33 was Salt, and Kohli with the 62 of 45 really complimented him pretty well. And yeah, in the end, it was pretty comfortable. 9 wicket victory for RCB. But there's obviously a concern around whether RCB are doing enough at Chinnaswamy, and it's always been a concern that RCB don't do well at Chinnaswamy. I think it's the only team it comes up again and again that RCB are the only team to not have a 50% win rate at their home venue. And Rishi, it seems to be like the trend has continued this year. Um, what do you put it down to, bro? Like the fact that RCB don't win enough at home.
I mean, traditionally it has been a high scoring ground, right? And you've not had the pick of the bowlers. Like you've always had guys who can either chase games down or put big totals, but never the guys who can, restrict teams and keep it down. So I feel that's where you've lost previously the games, but this time around, at least it has been different. Like I feel like the games have come like if it has come down to how quick your start is or how good your start is and how your one down two down can capitalize on it. Like today, for example, Phil Salt gave a brilliant start of how much 60 odd in
It was
30 balls.
65 or
And
33. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then Virat Kohli complemented it with 60, and then Devdutt Patikal also came in with a handy 40. And I feel the games you've lost are the ones where Phil Salt hasn't had a huge impact. Like I think the DC game was you guys got off to a blistering start, but then unfortunate run out 30 something of 15 balls, and then that even the Gujarat game, but that was a brilliant ball from Siraj, got him out for another 14 or something.
Mm.
So it is like at least at home where it's been a high scoring venue, like it has always been about that blistering start that you guys get and how you guys carry on the momentum after Phil Salt. Like once Phil Salt either gives you the start and gets out or leaves early, how the rest of the batting continues. Because in RC, in Bangalore, how it's gonna be. It's a small ground. It's going to be decent wickets. The wickets are not going to like be outrageous. It's going to be pretty modest. Batters are going to have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, and I feel at least this time it has come down to how the rest of the batters complement or keep up with Phil Salt's run rate. And I feel in you see pretty much every game that he has had a hand to play in, you guys have looked comfortable. It's been cruise control mode. And yeah, the two home games have been ones where it hasn't gone as well for Phil Salt.
Mm. Adi, what do you put it down to?
Bro, for me, it's two simple things. One, at least the season one is toss. I think in Chinnaswamy, toss matters a lot. Chasing is always easier in Chinnaswamy. You know that if you're chasing, if you're batting first and not scoring above 180, 190, it's most likely a loss for you. I feel like chasing is always easier. You always find you in the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore. You always get you second half. Small stadium. You can. The two games we lost was just down to pacing and innings because we didn't score a lot of runs. So the second factor is batting. Like I think the philosophy of our batting is still, in my opinion, very careless. Especially in Chinnaswamy Stadium, you generally would expect it to be a flat wicket, good batting track. But the two games where RCB played, you can clearly see it's just not a batting track. You have to take your time, dig in, try to understand, the track, and then the game comes to you in Chinnaswamy. You need to wait, play 20 balls maybe, try to score runs with ease in terms of singles, get your cheeky fours, sixes whenever you can, not just try swinging from the first ball. I think last game against who did we play? Delhi Capitals. It was just from first ball everyone swinging. Virat is just swinging for no reason. I've always said about Phil Salt, like for me even today, even though he gives you explosive starts, the only problem with me is it's risky. Today he could have gotten out twice. He could have gotten run out once. He could have actually scored 100 if he didn't get out. The way he got out today, hit a six the first ball, and then literally the next ball he is again going for a six. It's not really needed. Like I get it. Like there is no pressure at that point of time where you can hit a six and keep hitting sixes if you feel like it. But for me, in the long term vision, I think Phil Salt, because of the fact that we have a very weak number three, and he's not going to complement the way RCB play, you need to play a bit more smarter. Just for that fact, because if for example, look at the two Chinnaswamy games where he got out early in the power play itself, and then the number three couldn't back both the games. Both the games he was poor, and that offset the game plan of how we try to play. And that's why I'm like, with Phil Salt, you need to like he needs to play a bit more smarter. Like that is something I've been critical. Even today, he swung the ball blindly twice, thrice, and he got dropped twice. So yeah, like that's one thing he needs to really even in the last match, like against Delhi Capitals, even though scored a very quick by 30, there was like a time where he could have gotten dropped. He's had a lot of lives. For me, long term batting needs to get smarter. It's just not coming and swinging every ball. You have to try to adapt. It's not like there's. I don't know why. I think it's the coach. I think it's a coaching issue where like everyone has the pressure to hit a six after like two, three balls or score a boundary. Because even in the middle of the game where Jitesh Sharma and Patida were batting, they were always trying to look for a six and they were missing the ball. There was never an intention of, okay, let me just take singles and play this ball out, like play two, three singles, like just continuously put pressure of singles. Every time they were swinging the bat, and they were missing. They were not able to read the line length properly, and they kept missing those big shots. Like Patel struggled with that, Jitesh struggled with that, and then he got more pressure and he had to hit a six. 3 of 10 balls, he had to try to smack the ball. And even with Devdutt, even though with Devdutt, in the way we started the power play, we were like 80 in the 70, 80 in the first 5, 6 overs. He didn't have to try and go swing. He could have just played the power play out, tried to just play some drives, just looked for the gap singles. He didn't do that. And that's the I feel like it's a philosophical issue. Even with Livingstone, poor shot, just trying to look for a boundary six, short ball, top edge out. I think the problem with everyone is the philosophy is okay, just go smack, 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 and it can become reckless. We've seen it with SRH. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you're scoring 200 with ease, but sometimes it's just not going to help you. So I really need them to start batting smartly, or else like it will be very tough to like handle different situations.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like in terms of at least the conditions this time at Chinnaswamy, it's not been that straightforward. Like at least from the two games, if we've learned anything, that it's not that it's a flat go for it, just a belter, just come and play through the line kind of wicket. It's not. Especially the Delhi game, it told you a lot about what the Chinnaswamy wicket is going to be like. And even that special innings that we're calling from KL Rahul, he had a couple of opportunities where like he was one though he was dropped by Rajat Patidar, very tough chance. But even then there were a couple of times when it fell between cover and sweeper, like in top edge, because the pace of the wicket was not as easy as like how it has been over the years in the at the Chinnaswamy. And I think in a way it is set up so beautifully for somebody like a Virat Kohli to have a good, very good season, because today was a very weird kind of wicket. Again, it was very like two-paced. Yashasvi Jaiswal said it after the game, after he batted. Um, you could see the ball was keeping low on a number of occasions. Sanju Samson, his wicket, the way he got stumped, the ball barely came up. There was one delivery to Virat Kohli that kept really low. I think from Hasaranga, if I'm not wrong. I can't remember, but there was one that kept really low. So it was that kind of a wicket where you needed one batter to sort of just play through the innings, be set, and that it's not going to be easy for a new batter to just come and swing. And that was the case, and that's what Virat did. Like after he saw Salt go, he didn't like, and after the first couple of like I think say 6 to 8 balls, he sort of realized that okay, it's not as easy to bat. And he found that out, especially when Sandeep Sharma came on and bowled his first ball. It stuck in the wicket, and you saw like he was just simply just trying to time the ball, and it didn't come. It went looping in the air. And after that, he played a very measured innings. He took his time, knocked the ball around, and then eventually, when it came to it, used his feet and got the sixes. It was like the Virat Kohli of old, like which you would see in like 2015, 16. Just not just swiping at everything. He was playing a beautiful. I think it was a very well played, like constructed innings. And I feel like if the Chinnaswamy wicket is going to play like this going forward, this version of Virat Kohli we need. And it is the best version of Virat Kohli according to me. Like which is, you don't need a Virat Kohli who's going to strike at 180. You need a Virat Kohli who's going to strike at 140, but who's going to score 60 runs, 70 runs. And from the other end, you have Phil Salt who's going to go for it. And potentially when like batters who will come through, Rajat Patidar will go for it. Your Jitesh Sharma will go for it. But he can be that one guy who will hold the innings together and sort of do what he does, what he has done for so many years. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens because RCB don't go back to Bangalore until one game against Punjab. You go to Punjab now, play in Chandigarh, and then go to Bangalore after that. So it's going to be interesting. Like obviously we'll know what it's like after the next game, whether RCB has 5 wins or 4 wins, and it'll kind of dictate how we need to play at home as well, how many games we need to win at home. But yeah, I mean, it's looking interesting right now. It's looking good, but positive signs again, bro. Rishi, like I know there's been a lot of criticism about Dev, but again, he's somehow chipping in with those 30s and 40s and 20s whenever needed. And today again, like obviously it was not. It's not like he played a match-winning knock or anything, but 40 of 28, especially after the game was killed, he put on the accelerator and got it done pretty quickly, like towards the end. And in a way, I feel like he's warranted his spot in the side. The only conversation I feel, I don't know, again, is the Livingston conversation. But again, like I told you guys before the season started, that looking at Livingston, it looks like they banked on him and they will back him till the end. But yeah, just are there any other question marks over this RCB side for you?
Yeah, the one thing I'd mentioned was like, like once, okay, like you know what you're going to get from Phil Salt, you know what you're going to get from Virat. Like their roles are pretty much assigned, and how the rest of the batting complements, how the rest of the batting follows through. Like you can't have, say, for example, in the Delhi game, you didn't like once you got off to a blistering start. Like I think you guys were 60 or something in 3 point something or 4 overs, and then towards the end of the power play, you guys were again like somewhere stuck in the 60s itself, or like was it 70? So yeah, so once a wicket goes, I'm not saying okay everyone should go in like all in like SRH, but if you have a clear plan, okay, now that the wickets like Phil Salt has gone, now what is our plan B? Like follow through with it. And I felt today to an extent that was done, like that was done well by Devdutt Padikkal as well, because in the game against Mumbai, Devdutt Padikkal came in and played a handy innings. I felt that was also a brilliant innings because he kept the momentum going. So I feel that is one area where you guys tend to like, lose your way, because once a good start is given, that falters off and then somebody has to pick up in the end, or then or else the start itself falters and then somebody has to really come in and like do the whole team's job. So as a whole batting unit, if the batters can come in and contribute a little bit more often, like it has happened a couple of times, like
Yeah.
against Mumbai Indians, I felt the whole almost every batter contributed. Like if that can happen a lot more frequently, I feel like the dependence on that Phil Salt character to give a lot more, like to give that 60 of 30, that pressure, the load on him would come off. So I feel that is one area you guys can do well. And bro, again, the spin department I feel is very very reliant on Krunal Pandya, because today was supposed to be a spin friendly wicket. Like, yeah, what Surya Sharma came in and bowled an absolute howler of 4 overs. Like,
Not
and to
spin
complement that,
friendly,
he
but
was
So
it
you
wasn't
saw Krunal
spin.
ball last game, last 2 3 games, Rishi. Krunal has been
yeah,
the
he
worst
won the
spinner.
game. He
He
won the
didn't.
I
Mumbai
don't
He
think
Indians
I
lost
game.
don't
the
think
game.
either of them have been great. I don't think either of them have been poor. I think it has been like a decent enough like thing from both of them. I think
No, I
Suyash also
think
has
Krunal has
played his
been
part.
poor, bro.
I don't think Krunal has been poor. Today also he bowled well. I think 28 or
Today
something
also,
he
yeah,
gave.
today he did
Yeah, but
decently
28.
today also.
Yeah, so
Today
like
was a stack which was pretty slow, but you look at the
yeah, but
previous games, like he has struggled. I think his line and length is very erratic. He really
he's
doesn't get it.
no chance. He's is erratic. Where is his erratic?
What?
He's like the most metronomic bowler you will find. Like
No,
the only time,
Rahul. You
the only
if you
time
watch him this season, sometimes he's trying to put it shorter. It goes sometimes as a slot ball. Sometimes he's trying to ball full. Sorry, it goes as short ball. Sometimes he's trying
no,
to put in a bit.
I have not seen
It
it. The
has
only
been
time I've seen him vary his length is when like he's bowling toward in the death, which has happened a couple of times with Krunal. He tries to bowl those wide Yorkers. He'll try to bowl one bouncer in the middle, which I don't mind like at all, like from him. And he's not been bad at all. I don't think he's been that bad. I don't think Kuyash also has been that bad. Like in general, they've all both of them have been decent. I wouldn't say they've been good. I think yeah, both
I
have
think
been
Suyash
okay.
had in the 5 games he played, he had one good game. The remaining have been okayish, and today was particularly bad. Today was supposed to be a lot more like keeping low. It was you were getting the turn, but he was just all over the place.
Now today,
And
bro,
the fielding again today, bro.
yeah, the
What is the
fielding.
fielding today? Like
I would say the fielding did not help anybody because Suyash also, I think he had a catch dropped off him. Virat dropped a
hmm,
pretty a
Virat,
sitter.
yeah.
So it's not like these either of anybody got any help from the field today. But in general, I think okay only, bro. Like not neither of them have been particularly great. Like Suyash has been bowling at an economy of eight and a half, which is not bad.
It's much
Especially in
better
the
than Krunal.
hmm?
It's better than Krunal's also, right? Like
Krunal is
really.
bowled at a nine and a half economy, but my thing with Krunal is that he's bowled like 2 3 overs. He's bowled like some 20th over. He's bowled. He's bowled like really tough overs, and I think that I a little bit feel for him because spinners bowling the 20th over is. I understand how tough it is. You need to understand like how the context behind it,
But the
and
reason
like
he's playing 20th over is, if you put in the context, is because they're not trusting him in the middle overs. He's been expensive in the
no,
middle overs.
no, 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 no.
Yes,
That
yes, yes. One second. It is
yeah,
literally that
okay,
you look at DC
okay.
game. They had to force the ball Livingston, sorry, because Krunal was having a terrible game in the middle overs. That's why they put in Bhuvi earlier, Hazelwood earlier. The Hazelwood 13th, 14th over should have been by Krunal ideally, but the reason Patudu went against Krunal was because he was getting smacked
No,
by
the
KL
Delhi
Rahul.
game I agree, but I'm talking like Mumbai game where he could not have gone to Kunal. He had to go to him in the end. He saved his over and in
Again,
the
with
20th
Krunal,
over.
why he balled the last
Ah,
overs?
wait, wait.
Because he was getting
No, no,
smacked. They
no, no.
had
It is
to
not
ensure.
because of that. No, no, no.
Rahul,
It is because
can you tell me
Tilak
how?
Verma was
What?
batting in the middle. It was because they had a lefty going there. They didn't have to
Tilak
bring
Verma
in
was
Kunal.
batting since
No, no,
Tilak
no, no.
Verma was
It is
batting
not.
before Krunal
Yeah, so
came, bro.
that's what
What are
I'm
you
saying. You
saying?
have to bowl him at some point, but they couldn't bowl him after that because they had the lefty batting. You can't take that risk, and that I understand. That
Rahul, but that was not the reason why they didn't ball. It was
that is the
because
reason. That is
wait,
literally
wait,
the
wait, wait,
reason.
wait. Krunal was balling to Hardik. Krunal got smacked by Hardik. They realized Hardik is really out there to smack the spinners, and that's why they couldn't bring in what do you call Krunal until Hardik got out. And that was still the 19th over. As soon as Hardik got out, the only over that was left was given to Krunal because Pratidhar had to use all the reliable
Exactly. That
bowlers
is what
before
I'm
him.
saying. The fourth over,
It is
they did. There
because
was no
Krunal has still
spot.
been reliant while he's
Bro,
balling
like
the
I remember
end.
texting even in the 12th and 13th over on the group saying they've held Krunal way too long because the way the game was going, he could not have bowled him. Otherwise,
Rahul, Krunal
like
was
keep
balling
your
to
eyes on
Hardik Pandya.
remember
What are you
this. If there
saying?
was an opportunity, there was no opportunity to bowl Krunal because
Rahul,
they had way
bro.
too much of him. Yes,
Krunal was
it
balling to
happened.
Hardik Pandya. Can you remember? Krunal
Okay.
was balling to Hardik
Yeah, I
Pandya.
remember him bowling to Hardik
Hardik
Pandya,
Pandya
but I'm saying
comes later to Tilak. What are you
Hardik.
saying?
Yeah, okay. So there
He
are
had
four
balled
overs,
three.
right? He has to bowl four
Yeah,
overs. He
so
has to bowl all
he
four.
had balled 3 overs with Tilak Sharma there on the crease. What do you mean?
No, he had bowled two. He bowled
He
two
bowled
in the
3 overs
end.
that game.
One he bowled to Hardik Pandya,
He
and the
bowled
last
four
over he
overs that
bowled.
game, Rahul. He
Yeah,
bowled
so
4 overs against Mumbai.
yeah, so
What do
the
you
last
mean?
over he was not bowling to Hardik Pandya, no.
So apart from the last over, he had bowled 3 overs when Tilak Verma was already batting. So you can't say they didn't play him because Tilak Verma was batting. They didn't play him because he was just not
It
good enough that
was
day.
because Tilak Verma was batting. Otherwise, they would
No,
have bowled him through the
Rahul.
middle and gotten done with
No,
him.
they
Why would you
didn't.
want to keep your spinner for the last over? They don't
That
have to
is
do that.
because they didn't want to get smacked. They wanted to get the better bowlers to get the chance to get Hardik
That I
Pandya out.
agree. I'm literally saying it is because Tilak Verma was at the crease. They couldn't bowl all four of him.
No,
And once they saw Tilak Verma
you're
start
Rahul,
getting
but
slow, they
your
could
logic
not bowl
is
him.
Wait. Your logic is they didn't want to play Krunal Pandya because Tilak Verma was in the crease. But
Yes.
Krunal Pandya finished 3 overs when Tilak Verma was already in the crease. So the
They
only
have to
saving one
they
over.
have to bowl four at some point. They can't keep two of his towards the end. No, obviously.
It was
But
either him or
Rahul, they
Liam
used
Livingstone.
three before the 14th over. They finished 3 overs of Krunal. What is the difference?
So that is what I'm saying. That fourth over has to come, right? The fourth over, they if
And
they had given
why
him
did
that
it come in
ball,
the end instead of the middle overs? Because they didn't
because they
trust
couldn't have bowled it
Krunal.
to the lefty, and then they were getting closer and closer, and
He
they were like,
already
"This is
balled to
let's
the
see what
lefty,
happens in the
Rahul.
end."
But
Huh?
he already had ball to. My point is he had already balled to Tilak, so you
Yeah,
can't say
so
it's because Tilak.
you can't keep him completely out of the game and say no, I won't bowl any overs of him because the lefties are the crease. Then you try to
Exactly. So the
minimize
reason
it.
they didn't want to play him in the middle was just because he was getting smacked
No,
all over the park that day.
that is
And
not true. I don't
it
think
is
that's true,
true.
but
He had
it's not.
conceded like 40 runs before the last over. He did.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But I'm not saying that is because they had a lefty at the crease and he was going for runs. I am, I'm literally
He was getting
saying
smacked by
that's
Hardik
the
Pandya,
reason.
who's not a lefty. Hardik
No, the
Pandya
one about
smacked around 20,
dude,
25
Hardik
runs
had
in
a
his
great
over.
day, bro. Like that day, Hardik was batting like a dream, and fair enough, he got hit. Okay,
Yeah,
but
so Tilak Verma was not
I
smashing
don't think he's
Krunal to
been
be like,
terrible at all. I don't think he's been terrible at all. He's been decent. Like I think both so has Suyash. Both of them have been decent. They've not had neither of them have been overly great or anything. But at the end of the day, they have not gotten the opportunities to obviously do their parts in big run chases at home. So when it comes to it, that we'll see because it hasn't happened. RCB have scored 160s both times. So it's not like these guys had a lot to play with anyways. So yeah, I don't think either of them have been particularly bad. But Rishi, Mumbai playing bro right now against Delhi,
Hmm.
they've put on 205. You think it's good enough?
I mean, I would say it's good enough, but like our bowling has not been the best so far. We're conceding, we're leaking unnecessary runs. Like you see what Rickleton has done, let go of a simple wide. I'm not entirely confident, but I think this score should be good enough
Delhi
because
26 for what?
they have Faf du Plessis missing. They
they don't
have
have,
some.
they don't have,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they have him
Karun
missing
Karun
Nair
in.
is
Nair
playing.
for a while.
Yeah,
Karun
Karun
Nair is
Nair,
playing.
he's gotten off to a good start against Bolt. So let's see. But I am fairly confident we have to have a turn in form at some point. Hopefully, it's now.
Interesting, bro.
But
Yeah, I
no,
thought
like
it
we
was
had a
Mumbai playing
discussion.
Delhi.
Like one thing I'm happy about is we had a discussion about the position of Will Jacks and where Will Jacks should play. And I told that okay, like clearly up the order, he's not contributing anyway. Just send the others in who can score the runs, and then if needed,
I think Rishi, you're
send
lagging, bro.
Will Jacks towards the end and tonk a few. I think that's
Rishi, you're
I think
lagging.
Rishi, you're lagging. But yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
but I think he's saying that Will Jack should just come as in Dhoni's position. I think that's what he's trying to say. Like, come in the end when it's all chill.
we've gotten a decent
Yeah,
amount.
he's he's
Yeah,
still
but
lagging, bro. I think it's just
yeah.
yeah.
But I think
Um,
you can do that with Rohit Sharma, in my opinion. Why not put Rohit Sharma as the finisher role, bro? If he's anywhere sitting and like, bro, I'm not that serious about IPL. Why not put Will Jacks in Rohit Sharma's position and make Rohit Sharma? Anyways, he's out there to play 5-10 balls, right? Why can't he just be the finisher? It's easy for him. He can do a selfless gimmick that time also, like hit 1-2 sixes,
if it
say
were
I'm
up to
gonna play.
me, if it were up to me, Rohit Sharma wouldn't even be playing if that was really up to me. So
But he has to play. You have no choice, right?
that's true. But I feel when it comes to power, when it comes to a little bit more slogging, Will Jacks is of better use than Rohit Sharma because Will
What?
Jacks, I have at least 5% hope in Will Jacks, and every single run I get from Rohit Sharma, I feel is a bonus. That's how
Bro,
impressed
Rohit
I am.
Sharma is a better six hitter than like Will Jacks for sure. Like I think Rohit Sharma's six hitting is one thing that's always been a bit better than anyone in white ball, at least overall. And yeah, I think like if you want a finisher, I think Rohit Sharma can do that, bro. Just come hit 2-3 sixes if you can. No pressure for you also. Like if you bad also, it's fine. Like no one's gonna blame you anymore now, right?
Hmm.
At least Will
Yeah, I
Jacks
think.
is a young player. You're giving him time in the opening. The point is like at the end of the day, Will Jacks might be here for a longer time. So why not back the younger guy, the guy who's gonna be there for a while, and like give him a chance to play certain different. Again, I said last year he's not played enough IPL. Like give him different conditions to play at. Like coming today to Delhi, it would have been the first time I think he played there. So why not just back him and give him some time to adapt to these conditions? Maybe over next season he might come off good because of the time he got this year and the understanding he got this year. So like I think that makes more sense overall, anyways.
See, while it is understandable that we need to give him time, he can't. Again, we can't be a place of internship where people come, gain experience, and go play
Rohit
in like
Sharma is
a.
not doing anything anyways, right? So the
We
point is
we
like,
need to be
why
doing
not?
well like now also.
No, but point is Rohit Sharma is not going to do anything anyway. So my point is put Rohit Sharma in the end and put Will Jacks in the beginning. So at least you're
No,
getting
because
something out
I
of
have
that.
because I have or I place better odds on Will Jacks coming later and scoring more runs than Rohit Sharma scoring runs anywhere. And up top, so far I've seen that Will Jacks is also not scoring runs. So when you
Bro, but
take
he's
these
got
three
in two
probabilities, at least for
games.
me, and clearly from the management, when you take the probability of Will Jack scoring runs higher up the order, Rohit Sharma scoring runs anywhere, and Will Jack scoring runs lower down the order, from whatever we've seen, the best probability is like the latter, and that is what we've tried out.
No, but like you look at it, like Viljax hasn't got a real chance to play at the top order. First game he played, second game he got dropped. Again he played. Then it was suddenly he's opening, and then again he's back to number three. So it was not really consistent backing for him, anyways. And the whole point is if you're going to get Rohit Sharma consistently 5 to 10 balls, and that's been the trend you saying since forever. It's not even like this season only. It's been forever. At least with Wiljax, if he's playing in the beginning and if he eats some balls up, he can give you a good 40, 50, even a century if it comes down to it. Which
Where,
Rohit
but
Sharma
I
is
have
not.
not seen anything of it. At
He's
least
done
the
that
like
with
four out of
Rishi.
five.
That's what
He's
I'm
played
saying.
4 out of 5 games and he's not done it.
And Rohit Sharma's not done that ever, right? Like that's my point. My point is Will
Correct.
Jacks
And
last
if it
year.
were, that's what I'm saying. If it were up to me, Rohit Sharma wouldn't play and Will Jacks would play towards the end, because as of now, until things get better, Will Jacks, the only way he is looking to score runs or showing some promise of run scoring is in the end. And Rohit
He's
Sharma nowhere.
played
So if
one
it were
of
up to
one,
me, Rohit
brother.
Sharma wouldn't even be in the team buzz. But that's not
No,
up to me, no.
but Viljax played one game that was today, and he scored one of one ball. So I don't know where is the idea of coming that he's better in the end. Even from me personally watching him last in RCB, he's a kind of KL Rahul-ish player where he takes time in the beginning, but when once he starts going, he has very good power hitting over a long period of time if he stays. That is, and for that you can't come in the end and do that. Guys like whatever, say guys like Ashutosh Sharma, Shashank Singh, who don't need much balls, come and smack from the first ball. Those are the kind of players who need to come in the end to play those kind of innings. Will Jacks isn't that player. Now, if he's already struggling opening, I don't understand what's the point of him coming in the end to play 2, 3 balls. And he's not going to gain any confidence out of it. Long term, he's not going to understand what to do in any situation. With Rohit Sharma, he always says he doesn't need much balls. We've seen throughout his career that he really doesn't need much balls to hit sixes, fours. Like he can come last 5, 6, 10 balls and hit sixes. He's not a guy who's going to take in time. We've seen that throughout his career. So my whole point is, why not play Will Jacks in the beginning with the backing of you have to back a player. You can't just get in a young player and say, you've not played good 3 games, let's take you out. Like he has been better than Rohit Sharma, and even when he opened, for example, against RCB, he was better than Rohit Sharma. If you're going to compare two players, and the thing is, he's done it last year. If he got some time, he was able to have promising innings in 2, 3, 4 games against Gujarat, against Hyderabad. He scored a lot of runs. The whole point is you have to give him that time and patience for young players. Like even I can say with Devdutt, even though I'm critical, RCB are ready to back him because he's a youngster and he's able to give you innings if you back him. And that's the point. Like you have to back him. With Rohit Sharma, it's okay. Like if he doesn't bat, also I don't think there's any pressure. Like if he comes last over, he scores a 6 or 2 sixes, it's fine. If he gets out also in the last over, it's fine. So like you're not gaining anything of Rohit Sharma anyways, while you're losing out on the potential of Will Jacks, which you're not even able to see it at all. So I think it's better to play Will Jacks in the
I
top
think the
order.
Rohit Sharma conversation, unfortunately, as sad as it is, like realistically, it's not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen with him. He's going to play all 14 games at the same place.
Bro, I
He
actually think
can't miss
Rohit
them
Sharma.
forever.
Bro, with Rohit Sharma, he's come number 4, number 5 and all in IPL. Like he's done
No,
that
my point
recently
is
also.
they won't change that. No, like they will still make sure that Rohit Sharma bats at the top of the order. It's not like, yeah, I know, like, yeah, he has played like a little here and there, but I'm talking in the last 7, 8 years, so he hasn't done that. Like before that,
He's
he
done
used
that
to.
recently. Like I remember in the COVID era, he's coming number 4, number 5. I literally remember
I
recently.
don't know. At least my like earliest memory, like of course before he used to do it a lot. He used to bat different places, but off late I haven't. Even then, bro, I just don't see it happening for them. Like I don't think they're willing to. They're going to make sure he bats in the power play, and I don't know. There's some weird situation with him. This Mumbai road situation is reminding. It's a CSK Dhoni. Like it's all fun times for us actually as RCB fans. But no, just kidding. But it's interesting. We'll see how Mumbai fare, especially with Bumrah back. I think it'll give them a lot of
Last
confidence.
time he played number 5 was in 2018. Like he was actually
Yeah, see,
playing.
that's what I'm saying. So for 6, 7 years, that's what I was thinking. Like it's been a while.
Bro,
So
we know he can do that. Like number
no,
5,
I'm
number
not
6, I
saying
think he
I'm
can
not
do.
saying like he can't do it. I'm just saying it's been a long time. Even for India, he hasn't done it in a while. So it's probably that, and I don't know, but we'll see what happens with him. But in general, it's
He does,
Mumbai
bro.
is
And don't you
interesting. Like
remember the Australia series? He comes number 5 for us.
no T20s I'm talking about.
Making a joke, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, but yeah, 48 for one Mumbai. Delhi Capitals 4.1 overs. It's an interesting starter. Karuna is looking good, by the way. Will probably it'll be nice to see if he gets some runs, especially nice for a Karnataka boy to do it. Gonna be fun watching this one. Guys, please like and share the video, subscribe to Sports Kabri, and yeah, we'll catch you soon to discuss MS Dhoni and Chennai Super Kings, his return as captain, and also Ruturaj Gaikwad has unfollowed MS Dhoni. If you've
What?
heard the gossip,
That's
yeah, it's a legit
crazy.
thing.
Damn.
He's unfollowed
Wait,
MS Dhoni on
was he
Instagram.
ever following
What
him
do
in the
you
first place?
That's a good question. I don't know about that, but he doesn't follow him for sure now. So I
Damn.
personally went and checked, bro, this morning. So to
But
verify,
Dhoni doesn't post on Instagram, right? I don't
he
think it's a
doesn't, but
thing.
he has an active Instagram account where everyone
Ah, but
follows
he
him.
hasn't posted for like what since 2018 or something, if I'm
No,
not
no, no.
wrong.
He posted after we won the T20 World Cup.
After we
It was
won the
after
T20 World Cup, he
he
posted.
posted.
Yeah, but does he follow anyone? I don't think he follows
Yeah,
anyone
he
actually.
does. It's a proper
Yeah.
Instagram account,
Oh
and
damn.
yeah. So it's interesting. We'll see. It's an interesting saga. A lot to be discussed there as well. So yeah, catch that, guys. Like and share the videos. Please subscribe to Sports Cabri. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.